Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Right, what I'm going to do now is make the proper valve rods. These I use to jig the waste shaft bracket up with that. So now I'll show you the drawing and then we'll have a see what we can do. Right, here's the valve rod. So what I've got is some 3/8 by 3/4, and I can get that, make that in one piece. So there's no silver solder in there because you've got a little bit of silver solder in there to join the 3/16 rod in the end of that. So I've got to turn, I'll centre up, I'll put my 4-draw chuck in, centre up. I've already worked it out. If I centre up the 3/4 by 3/8 in the lathe, and I can turn that 932 down to the right length, and then I can cut it off, and then that I'll do in the milling machine. So let's get going. Right, so I've centered up my 3/4 by 3/8. What I've also done, this one I've used as a jig. I've drilled a piece of rod and reamed. So nice fit on that, nice sliding fit. So now I can turn this down and using this as a gauge to make sure it's a good fit. So right, I've got to turn this down now to 932. Let's get going. Slowly getting there now. Just a little bit of flat there each side. It'll be fine. Right, we're nearly there. I've got 75 more to take off. look at that, a little bit of emery cloth now. Oh, that's lovely. Beautiful. Right, next thing then, I'll drill the hole 3/16 for the valve rod that goes into the steam chest. So I'll just sort out some drills. So I'm just putting a little centre drill in there. Right. Yeah, that's good. A bit of oil on there would be lovely later on. Right, I'll just do the other one of those and then we can get these mounted on the milling machine. The second one nearly done. That's the second one finished, drilled, lovely sliding fit on there, beautiful. Now what I can do is I get these cut out, leaving enough meat on that side of the turn part, so I can then machine this part here, which I'll do in the milling machine. Right, so there's the two parts. I shall mount that in the milling machine that way, and then we can machine everything else now on these sides. Right, so I've got this in the collet. On the drawing, this part now where it's flat is 5/16. So the first thing I'll do is skim each side of this. So I'll do one side, flip it over, do the other side, so that's 5/16 thick. But what I got to do is work out where the offset is, how far down I got to machine this side first, and then flop it over and then machine that to the right width, then where the slot goes in. Right, so I've got this set up in the milling machine. What I did, I'm going to do the 5/16 thickness there. So I've got to take a bit off this side and a piece off this side. So what I've managed to do finding the difference there. So you've got 932 and 5/16, which is 1032. So the difference between the two thicknesses is 132 between both sides, which I've got that look. 132 is 264, so I want 164 each side, which is 015. So what I did, where are they? I got some feeler gauges and I've got that set at 015, so I should be able to skim that now. That's 015 higher than the round shaft there, so that should be right there, and I should be able to spin that over then and do the other side. So just let's get that milled off. Beautiful. Right, what I'll do now, I'll just turn that over, do the other side. Right, so I've machined both sides of that now, and that's spot on 5/16 of an inch. Look, beautiful. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that 90 degrees, and I'll probably do this side first, so I've sorted out how much this is below the round and how much this is above the round. So we're looking at the center is a 764. From the center of that round to the center of the slot is a 764 offset. So I'll just sort that out and get the right height. Right, so from the top of the round shaft to the top of where I should be, I should have 0.156 inches left above the round shaft here. So that's what I got to machine that down to. Right, so I've got the right height from the round shaft to the bottom of the cutter, where that should be the right height. If I mess it up, I can always make another one. Right, now I've got to turn that over and then get that down to, what am I going to get that to? 3/8 of an inch that's got to be from that side to down there. Right, so I'm just going to machine that down a little bit at a time till I get my 3/8 from there up. Sharpen my cutter in a minute. Get this one machined and I should sharpen that cutter. I'll just take a measurement of that. A little bit more. Right, that should be 3/8 of an inch there. Spot on. Right, so the next thing I got to do, turn that 90 degrees, get that centered, and then I can do that slot there. So that's the next job. Right, so I got this set up to cut the 3/16 slot, so that's all centraled, so we get on. Right, that's the slot done. Next thing I've got to do, turn it 90 degrees. We got the hole goes through there, and then what we do is we try and do the radius on the milling machine as well, using the digital readout. Right, so I've got that centre and in the right distance there. So I'll now centre drill that for a 3/16 hole. Beautiful. Right, I'll just change the drill. Beautiful. Now what I'm going to try and do, using the digital readout, is put the radius on there. What I have done in the past, which is a little bit dangerous really, is I've mounted a piece of bar in a collet and used it as a hinge and then rotated that, but that's a little bit dangerous. We'll try and use the digital readout. Right, I was going to cut the radius on these corners using the digital readout. I did print out everything to do with doing radius, but I've tried all sorts of entering different ways of putting it in and I can't get it done. So what I'll do is I'll just file them round. So next thing I'm going to do, take that one out of there, I'll do the other one, and then we'll mount them in the lathe, and there's got to be, if you look at the drawing, a little undercut there. I didn't do that while it was on the lathe before because I wanted the whole strength there just in case it broke. Right, so I'll just machine the other one up to that state and I'll get back to you. Right, there's the two parts finished. Next thing, I've got to do the rod. So I get some 3/16 diameter rod, put some thread on the end, check the measurement and silver solder it in. Right, so that is the threaded rods done. All I got to do now, silver solder those in there. That'll be the valve rods finished then. Right, I'm just about to silver solder the 3/16 rod into the machine part. There we are. Just turn the torch off, turn the bottles off a minute. Right, that's those soldered in. I did that one earlier. I'll just emery cloth round the ends. In fact, I might just put them in the lathe with a little bit of fine emery cloth. Let's just do that. I'll be back in a minute. So there we've got one pair of valve rods. Let's get it on the traction engine. Right, so I've got the rods through the waste shaft bracket, through the cylinder head, and I have screwed the valves on, look, so they move blooming lovely. I mean, you can't tighten them up yet and put the head on because you've got to do the eccentrics and that. So that would be to do the timing and that. So you've got bush, bush, bush. I might have to shorten them a little bit. Oh, I don't know, that's... Might have to shorten the thread on there a little bit. Because that's just uncovering that steam hole there. And then that's uncovering the steam hole there. So I reckon I could take off a little bit. But yeah, I'm really happy with those. They both slide in and out nicely, look. So that means I've got the waste shaft bracket and that jigged up just right. Beautiful. So I'm really happy with that. Great. So I put the cylinder head back on, look. That moves lovely. I'm really pleased. So I think the next job I'll do now is I'll do all the studs for these. Get some piston rings, that's got to be fitted onto the shaft, and then I can do the slides. The angle slides each side. Please subscribe to my channel and join me as I build a 2-inch scale Fowler Showmans traction engine.